We welcome you back to our live stream, LAXNAI 2022. We've got the Basom Bombers about to take on the CTC Elite. I am Greg Beecher along with Steven Stamp. Appreciate you watching as the action's about to get underway.
Roster! Fuck, send me a roster! Jesus! Damn it. Hey, lacrosse friends, welcome back to the 2022 LAXNAI here at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. We are into quarterfinal Friday, and the first goal of the first quarterfinal comes 25 seconds in on an absolute rip from Cree Cathers from the top, sneaking it by Goa Abrams in between the pipes for the Basom Bombers, and you're going to see this is a pretty simple little setup. Cree is just going to pop out and have a little bit of space. Not even that much space, but he is so talented. Doesn't need too much.
CTC lead goal. His first in the game scored number 15, Cree Cathers, with an assist from number 10, Troy Benedict. Time to goal, 14:45.
CTC with the ball once again. That one's knocked down though. Break for the Bombers. It's a 3-on-2. They're going to spread themselves. And a shot from the outside. Bounce. The rebound came straight back to Owen Hill, but he was denied by Edmund Cathers in the net for the Elite. They get it back. Brooker Muir will get a return pass. Brendan Bomberry's pass doesn't quite connect down there with Kent Printup. Printup going after the loose ball. They're down to about 7 seconds on the shot clock. Pass across. There's a hard shot, but it goes wide.
And CTC gets the ball. Working around the far side.
Yeah, behind the back shot ripped, absolutely hard one by Brian Phillips, but turned aside by Abrams. Here comes Anthony Patterson up the other way. That's a shot from Patterson on his offside. It goes wide and rolls back, picked up. Pierce Smith made the outlet pass, and Shane Cook will try to get over center. Makes it in the 10-second count. Anthony Patterson all over him. It's a little shovel pass across to Gavin McClashlin. The winners of these quarterfinal games from Costco to the semifinals during the early part of the day tomorrow, or mid part of the day. And then we will have all the placement games running down through the end of the afternoon. Everyone will get a spot ranked from 1 to 24. That shot, or offensive possession never really materialized for the Bombers. And 3 minutes into the first half, we have a drive by Pierce Smith towards the net. Didn't really get a shot off. That rolled through to go Abrams, but not a shot per se. Ball still loose. It's picked off. Great job. Marshall Palace grabbing that one. Shovels it across. Gates Abrams will back to Palace. Quick release. That one's saved by the foot of Edmund Cathers. Gates Abrams trying to come up with it. He's under some pressure from Matt Mahalik, but Abrams is able to get it. Hands it off there to Whale Abrams. That shot off the post from Skylar Thomas. Thomas is stalwart with the Peterborough Timbermen of the Arena Lacrosse League, East Division. Forecheck pressure again. Brendan Bomberry tries a little bounce shot over to the far side, just a little bit wide. Ball's loose in the corner. Good positional defense there. But Bomberry is able to get back and get it. McCoy Abrams, that one's blocked. Snagged by Brian Phillips. He's going to try and run out of pressure. All kinds of forecheck from McCoy Abrams. Maybe a bit of a hook or a hole, but Phillips just fights through it. He is a powerhouse. And he'll hand it off, head to the bench for a change, giving it to McLachlan. That pass a little bit high for Shane Cook and is turned over to Abrams. With a short pass out to Brooker Muir. McCoy Abrams tries to go to Marshall Palliser. Looking, he actually had an open man over on the far side. Palliser sitting right on top of the crease, but with his back to the net, couldn't connect. And here's the drive all the way to the crease. McLachlan, though, didn't like his angle, will spin out, peel out to the top, and hand it off. And Vince Thomas will get things rolling on the offense. We do have a hanger down the floor. Marshall Pallis, that's going to be over and back, and it will roll along to Pallis, who's being watched by the one CTC defender. Finds Muir, hard rip, but it's stopped by Cathers. Looks behind him. It was under him, and CTC will go back the other way. Just one goal through the first 5 minutes plus. CTC in the offensive zone, a lob pass across to the near side to Phillips. This hard shot goes wide and bounces past Cree Cathers. It's a break. Oh, pass to the trailer. Skylar Thomas didn't like his angle, and it works out. They move it back, and it winds up being a lovely finish for the Basom Bombers.
You see the Bombers come down. Ball goes back, 84 picks it up, and a beautiful feed as the goalie steps over, and he just paints the top corner. And we're all tied up.
Face-off violation on Basom, so it will be CTC possession. Picked up by Cam Simpson.
Nice pickoff by the Bombers, and he's on a sprint down the floor.
Look at the wheels coming down, and it's not saved, though, by the hand. Turning, robbing Justin Martin. McCoy Abrams gets it back. He goes to the net. He's double teamed. Just manages to avoid the crease. Pretty adroit stepping. He'll come across to Martin. Got the one cutter through the middle. Just getting the fifth attacker out. It's Marshall Pallis who receives the pass now as he comes in from the bench. Pass right on top. McCoy Abrams had to turn and find his spot. Now Marshall Pallis is stopped. Great goaltending there by Edmund Cathers. Backdoor. Another save. Throws the hand up. Cathers on one knee. Gets the hand up. Robs Kent Prince up. Here's McCoy Abrams. That rebound off the boards and tracked down by McCoy Abrams. Not sure if they got a reset on that one. May not have hit Cathers. Maybe just gone straight to the back boards. Running through traffic. Little pass from the knees. McCoy Abrams on his offside. Saved by Cathers. And yeah, we're going to have a stoppage of that. Hit him right in the neck guard.
And we've got a broken stick behind the net.
We get that taken care of. Edmund Cathers will go and fix his gear. Gets the helmet off. He's going to get the trainer to give him a hand. So we're 7:05 to go here in the first half. Still in the quarterfinals. 2 15-minute running time halves with a 2-minute stop time period at the end of the second half. And it looks like Brendan Gibson from Pittsburgh Kings was watching the game. He's actually come out with his helmet because it looks like Edmund Cathers' bucket is actually broken. As we get a nice zoom in there. Thanks, Charity. And you can see Brendan Gibson just kind of adjusting a little bit, trying to...
He broke the neck visor right in half. You can see it on the screen now. Yeah, you can see it dangling in two pieces. What a shot.
Yeah, that was a hard... You can hear it snap from up here. And I've got headphones on. I can hear that go. Greg Beecher doing directing and color commentary hybrid role. And that was really something. So we might have a little bit while they get this adjusted. The trainer, you can see the equipment guy trying to fix that helmet. But that could be a while. You got to put a new neck guard on if he even has an extra one handy. It's the kind of thing you don't even really expect.
No, not very often.
Now, what they may be doing, instead of actually doing the bucket, I think Gibson may just be trying to get his neck guard off to give to Edmund Cathers so he can add it to his helmet. Rather than you go with the whole helmet, that's tough for a goalie to switch helmets. I remember calling being in an MSL game when the Ajax Pickering Rock were still around, and Peterborough Lakers were playing up in Ajax, and Kevin Croswell was playing and had his NLL mask on, and they had an illegal face mask. The visor, the cage, was illegal for MSL players, okay, in the NLL. So Ajax called him on it, the Lakers goalie, and he had to go and change his helmet, and it just rattled him. It's different. It looks different. It feels different. Doesn't fit properly.
Everything's different about it, and I mean, for goalies, they like to be in their zone. Some of them are very superstitious. They've got set routines. That could just be what the difference maker is. How many loose balls did they recover on that possession and fire at the goalie? I think Basom had 3 resets on the shot clock as well.
Yeah, and they're firing pretty quick, right? I mean, working around, finding the opportunities to shoot. Those loose balls can add up. They make such a difference. And, you know, it doesn't seem like it would be a direct correlation necessarily, but it seems like when you're winning those hustle battles, the heart battles, getting those loose balls and the resets, it seems to eventually pay off on the scoreboard. Not always directly, but just...
CTC Elite bench, the purple bench, please.
And I believe we've got the equipment issue taken care of thanks to the Pittsburgh Kings goalie coming out and giving us his visor. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and it looks like they have it, just as we said, putting the neck guard from Gibson's helmet onto Edmund Cathers. And that may be a little different, but it is far less jarring than having to change your helmet. Pass inside doesn't quite connect. Vince Thomas couldn't catch it. It's loose on the floor. Going after it hard is one of the Basom Bombers. We have a few guys that we don't have names connected to the numbers for Basom. All the way down the floor, shot ripped there. I believe that's Brian Rice, if I'm not mistaken, number 70. We're going to get that confirmation shortly, I think, but just looking at the way he runs, that definitely looks like the way Brian moves. And he is down the floor. The ball is going to roll to him. He sees the defender coming, so he's going to back away, look to create some space for his teammates. A delayed penalty on its way. So Goa Abrams gets to the bench. They've got about 17 on the shot clock as the extra attacker comes out. They have some time to work with. Pass through the middle. Can't quite be caught by Owen Hill. They get it back over on the near side to Rice. Little sidearm pass. Bomberry rip. That one's grabbed by Cathers. And that was about 6 inches below the neck guard. And you got to think he's wondering, like, is this going to be okay?
Yeah, after taking a shot hard like that, that actually breaks your equipment. You got to wonder. Penalty on the Elite. I believe it's an interference call on number 26.
So power play for the Bombers, and they have Bomber at the righty shooter spot. Brendan Bomber, that is. I said to him earlier today, it must be nice to have a whole team named after you, because Bomber is nicknamed. It's actually not what the team's named for, but it's pretty funny that he's on it. Here is Brian Rice behind the back. Marshall Palace, he gets away from him. Cam Simpson pounces on it, heads up the floor. Brian Rice running with him, trying to strip. They are actually teammates with the Peterborough Timbermen in the Arena Lacrosse League. That pass gets a little bit wide, and it goes to Troy Benedict. His shot turned aside. Here's Simpson again. He loves to work through multiple defenders. Oh, stepped in the crease, and you will see him run through work, back his way through 3 or 4. Often comes to naught, but sometimes he will produce a little slice of magic that is quite spectacular.
Yeah, there's some players who just enjoy the contact, love being able to push through it, physically strong, great ball hold. And the Bombers throw another one off to the side, and it's scooped up by CTC, breaking down the floor.
Penalty is open. We're back to even strength. It's a 2-on-2, now a 1-on-2, now just nothing. They just kind of ran themselves out of that transition opportunity. Interesting that one of the players racing down with it elected to just turn and go back to the bench rather than trying to push it on that transition. That really turned it into a 5-on-5 set, although Marshall Abrams was up the floor, so it's 4-on-4, and it took them a while to get the fourth guy out there. That shot, I think, was tipped on the way. It did get through to go Abrams, but here it's handed off to Justin Martin. Again, a
5 seconds left.
League all-star this year. So
By the
5
time.
seconds left or what? Here's McCoy Abrams going, and that shoots just a little bit wide. He gets flattened, toppled for his work. It was on target. That's bouncing in and off of Catherine into the net. Great finish there by McCoy Abrams. As he took that pass, he saw there was a little bit of space, had to bank it off. Here's McCoy Abrams go. Edmund Cathers.
And you got one of the elite 5 seconds left on the shot clock by the time they finally got their offense out. And look at that quick stick.
Okay. I heard you say 5 seconds left. I didn't know what you were talking about. But
Let's try not to interrupt you.
No problem. 2-1 Bombers go ahead.
Scored by number 43, McCoy Abrams, with an assist.
Oh, and right off the faceoff. We had a while before with no scoring, but this stretch was very short. John Pierce, back-to-back goals. It's 3-1 Bombers.
Let's try not to interrupt you.
CTC coming away with the ball off the faceoff.
Basom Bombers goal, his first of the game, scored.
And a drive to the net. No goal. It's a crease violation. Gavin McLashling, great opportunity, but just nibbling on the green crease line. Here's Marshall Powless. John Pierce tries to spin, well defended by Shane Cook. That pass doesn't connect, but it is picked up off the backboards. Owen Hill came away with it. Now it's going to roll the length of the floor. And a heads-up play by John Pierce. Get off and get a defender out. So if there was a relatively quick restart with Shane Cook going to pick it up, they would have a defender to take care of things. Brian Phillips tries to complete the pass across the floor. It's picked off. We're going to have a breakaway. It's just out of the reach of Brian Rice. That's going to take away the breakaway chance. His blazing speed would have meant nobody was going to catch him, but couldn't connect on the pass. So that's through the crease and playing it on Whale Abrams. It'll be CTC possession. A forecheck here from Rice as Shane Cook tries to get ahead. He's got a few seconds to get over center, but cannot lollygag. Just makes it across. McLashton thought he saw a lane, it evaporated, so he goes over to the far side. CTC will try and manufacture something here. Here's Phillips. That pass probably wasn't there, tempting as it was, with the player sliding down the slot. And here's Martin gliding up the floor as he's wont to do, hits the man on the far side. Great pass, great finish. Anthony Patterson, perfectly executed transition offense for the Basom Bombers to go up 4-1. Tempting as it was, with the player sliding.
Beautiful break up here as you see him coming down the floor hard. Acts like he's going to shoot, feeds it to the wide open man, and he paints it to the far corner. He drags the goalie across the net, then shoots back to the opposite side. Super hard for a goalie to be able to react to both of those moves.
.20 seconds left as the faceoff is contested. Violation on Cam Seneca taking the draw for the Bombers, which means the ball will go to CTC Elite, and they're going to take a timeout. And the officials looking up, they're going to see when they want to stop and how much time should be back on it. It looks like 10 seconds going to be called for. So they will pull Edmund Cathers to the bench, send out 6 forwards. And once they get 10 seconds up there, they will be ready to roll. Of course, we're going to wait for CTC to set up whatever play they want to run.
10 seconds. Other than the initial goal from CTC, it's been Basom Bombers ever since.
That's true. 4 in a row And CTC obviously would love to get one back here, go into the break and get a chance to set things back up. But the Bombers just so deep. Their depth of quality talent is really something. I mean, you just look at Brendan Barberry and McCoy Abrams, Marshall Palace, Owen Hill, Anthony Patterson, Brooker Muir. Like, there's so many dangerous pieces that can hurt you out there. I know I've missed some. Skylar Thomas, Justin Martin in transition. There's so many options. And other teams, I mean, CTC has some very good players. They don't have that variety of options that can really attack you and hurt you.
100%. A lot of these teams will have one or two guys that are equivalent, but to be able to have a team that deep is why here we are this late into the tournament on Friday, and we get to see the Basom Bombers still flying around the floor.
8 seconds. Hard whip behind the back pass. Almost got. Now it's picked up. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Muir has it. Looks up. Just going to swat it at the net. He is not going to have time to get that one. Even though it rolls in, it was about 7 seconds after the buzzer. We will go to the break. Basom Bombers 4 and CTC Elite 0 or 1. Not 0. They had the first goal. I'm Steven Stamp with Greg Beecher. This is LAXNAI 2022 from Blue Squatch Productions.
CTC
Welcome back, lacrosse friends. 15 minutes to decide our first semifinalist. It is 4-1 for the Basom Bombers, and they've got the ball as Owen Hill picks it up off the opening faceoff, and he drops it. It's going to be scrambled after by Daryl Kriggs. Rory Rosno fighting for it, but it's going to be Hill coming away with it. Bounced around, pinballed a bit between the feet of Cathers, but stayed out, and CTC will go the other way. Had a nice chat with Kenori Rosno before the game. I got to call some of his games playing for Japan in the 2018 World Field Lacrosse Championships over in Netanya, Israel. Really enjoyed having a chat with their parents. His dad, Harley Rosno, has worked so hard on his Japanese to learn the language, having married a Japanese woman, and he was the guy who helped me with pronunciations for all the Japanese players. Here's Brian Rice racing down. Nice hustle back on transition defense for Gavin McClashlin to not give Rice quite the time he would have liked to have to pick his shot. Because Brian Rice, as I mentioned, he is a speed demon. So that was good hustle to stay with him. Whale Abrams gets that loose ball and passes it out, but it's picked off by Cameron Simpson. He's going to run. Speaking of fast guys, Simpson, deceptively quick, gets all the way down the length of the floor, but just had nothing to shoot at as Go Abrams dropped to his knees and took away the options that Simpson had. Patterson now flying the other way. Low pass caught nicely by Skylar Thomas. Makes the pass across. They're going to slow it down a little bit. Oh, it's too high for Kent Printup. Hits him in the back of the leg, and we'll go all the way down to Edmund Cathers, who makes the one-hop pass up ahead to Cree Cathers, his brother. A little behind the back flip. Does get through to Kriggs. He's going to hand it back to Cathers. And that pass gets away, and it's going to roll over to... It's not going to get to Go Abrams. Good job by CTC to get some pressure on, and then behind the back attempt. That is swallowed up in Patterson, I think that's Braille Abrams was behind the net, making sure behind the goaltender, making sure it didn't roll in. Burker Muir is going to keep it and head up into the offensive zone. He can stay and play. Oh, he is good at it. Hard sidearm rip to Palace. Near side to Gates Abrams. Well, McCoy Abrams' shot was soaked out front. Probably not a very good feeling for Pierce Smith, but he seems fine as he races off to the bench. And here comes CTC up the floor. Everyone on the bench yelling heads up to Daryl Craigs, and he was able to just duck away from that trail check attempt. Here's Cree Cathers. Gets stripped by Justin Martin. Not just about the speed and the running and the stick work for Justin Martin. He is playing solid defense, although he didn't let Cree Cathers get away and get a pretty good shot there. Here's Marshall Palace. Booker Muir coming up to run some interference for him. That's a big pick. And they go across to Rice, back to Marshall Palace. Nice shoulder save. It bounces out. Snagged there off the backboards. Aaron Woods. Here's another save by Goa Abrams. That's the thing with Basom. You can manufacture scoring chances, but hard to beat him. And there's Marshall Palace. That's a big save, Edmund Gathers. Palace trying to will his way in toward the net. Get some help from Whale Abrams. Comes across to the near side. Here's Patterson. Reaches out, tries that tuck shot. Wasn't there. It's a hard one hopper to Simpson. Penalty coming. He was fighting off the checking attempt. And Cam Seneca just tied up Simpson. I'm fairly sure that Cam Seneca and Cam Simpson have been teammates on the Onondaga Redhawks. Just get away and get a pretty good shot there. So the holding call to Seneca, and with a 4-1 deficit, CTC Elite will try to cut into get through to Craig's margin. He's going to hand it back. We're about 4 minutes and change into the second half. Again, 15 minutes running time for each half, except the last 2 minutes of the second half when we have stop time.
Basom Bombers penalties number 22, Cam Seneca.
Nobody coming open, and then Phillips did come open, but he's down below the goal line when he gets that pass. So not much danger. He was able to walk out, get a pretty good shot, but it is stopped by Abrams. Brian Rice. Oh, Brendan Bomber wide open. And rolled through it, got past Cathers, but rolled wide of the net, just past the far post. Here's Bomberry. 22 left on the Basin penalty. They're going to the net anyway. Skylar Thomas with the shot. And here comes CTC. They've got 15 on the power play. They're actually in a 2-on-3, so they don't have the advantage of their extra man here. Behind the back, down low, stepping out. Oh, just missing Gavin McClashley. I think Go Abrams may have got a piece of that. Either way, here comes Cam Seneca with a pass. Those 5-hole bouncer stopped by Cathers. Terrific goaltending back and forth on either side with exciting end-to-end action. That doesn't connect with Brian Phillips, and it will be a brief foray into the offensive end for CTC, and we'll be back in their defensive zone. Gates Abrams shoots from his offside, misses, tried to in one hand grab it, had the stick knocked out of his hands, and love that. Braille Abrams just looks to Gates Abrams and gives him the palms up like, I am wide open on my right side. You're on your offside. You're shooting, big dude. Oh, nice move to catch that and finish. Great play by Gavin McClashlin as he sealed his defender on his hip to be able to accept that pass and a quick drop step. Palms up, like, maintain that seal position.
See the Elite player crashing in. Beautiful. Fakes to the right, then dicks to the left and puts it in the top corner.
Brian Rice zips in to get that loose ball off the faceoff. That was going to be a crease violation. It is eventually. Actually thought there was the original step on it, but either way, Cathers makes the stop, and the ball will go to CTC. They're pulled back within 2 at 4-2. 8:20 to go here in the second. Fighting through the check is Dylan Springer. Got Muir all over. Penalty coming to Muir. So Cathers is heading to the bench for the extra attacker. We've got about 17 on the shot clock. They've got time to work with. Backdoor attempt. That one's tipped away and out of play by Justin Martin. And it will be the holding call coming to Muir.
And the way these guys were flying up and down the floor, I thought CTC would start to tire a little bit, but they are keeping pace and coming back.
Time is ticking down on them, but CTC with a power play. Craig Simpson will start at the top. Sorry, Cameron Simpson. Not the old Oilers captain. Simpson behind the back to Phillips. They try and come swinging around to the lefties. They get it up to the top here to Cree Cathers. They go backdoor quick stick. Doesn't quite work. Ball's loose along the boards. Fighting for it is Braille Abrams. It pops out, and Justin Martin is just going to kick it ahead. He does not want to pick it up until now. He was trying to wait till there were 30 seconds left in the penalty. That one's picked off as they kind of make the whole strategic timing of when to pick the ball up moot by throwing away the pass. Great leap ahead by Anthony Patterson. They'll break up that attempt at a long transition break. Keenan Ninham fighting hard in there for Basom, and a pair of black and purple jerseys come away with that one. But a quick behind the back shot there from Troy Benedict. No problem for Go Abrams. We're down to 6:40 to go. Still a pretty slim 2-goal lead. We're trying to go inside on that one. It's a crease violation. Good hustle getting up the floor. And a nice diagonal pass. Brian Phillips is stopped, though. He can't play the ball. Patterson just so smoothly steps up, picks up that ball, and steps away from where his opponent is so he can't get forechecked. Patterson thinking of it coast to coast. He's going to pull back out. Handing off to Rice at the top. He can bury it from there. I've seen him do it many a time. There's a penalty coming.
And we got another look at that hit.
Yeah, illegal cross check coming to Brooker Muir. He's saying, hey, he took my stick.
Boom. And he took his stick.
That is a cross check in the back. That's going to get called. So CTC Elite, Cameron Simpson will start with another power play. Oh, 2 minutes going up. What? I'll have to hear the announcement because there are no 2-minute penalties. Wow. So the illegal cross check compounded by an unsportsmanlike, and it is a 2-minute power play, 2 separate 1-minute power plays technically for the Basom Bombers. For the CTC Elite. And of course, that's big because if you score on the first one, it doesn't wipe out the whole thing. It just wipes out the first minute. Here's Marshall Palace trying to dunk. That's turned aside. It's going to be picked up and going the other way, Matt Mihalik. Cree Cathers, sorry. Up to Simpson. We've got 5 seconds if they want to take advantage of that 2-penalty situation. They're not going to get it, but they'd be happy to get one still. A little bouncer going for the high, the deep bouncer going high, but Go Abrams takes it away. They'll start with Simpson in the corner. That shot stopped as well. Patterson taking off, gliding on the floor. Look at him eat up the turf. Nice save again by Edmund Cathers. A substitution called.
Both goalies making big saves there. Keeping the score, a 2-goal game.
So with the too many men call, We've got 20 seconds left in the Brooker Miro penalty. Now they're going to stop the clock with 4:03 to go until this gets adjudicated and blown in. There they go. So we've got 17, 16 seconds left. And then we will have the power play at that point for the Bombers. A little behind the back float pass with Skylar Thomas. Didn't quite get to anybody except for the goaltender, Edmund Cathers. Here's a handoff out to Dylan Springer. Hits the man off the bench. Nice little spin move inside, but Abrams there once again to swallow up denied Vince Thomas. Pierce, hard shot. No, actually, he's going to throw it up top. Were you faked out?
I was faked out.
He had the ball, but it was Bombery at the top. To the point where when he took it, I actually thought he'd shot. There he does shoot. That one stopped, though, by Edmund Cathers. Gates Abrams gets the fresh 30. We're down to about 3 minutes left. 2-goal lead for the Basom Bombers. Stick with us after this game. We'll have lots more quarterfinal excitement coming. That's a hard shot, but why? The Rochester Bats are going to meet the Code Talkers. That's one that people are excited about. And we have a player down. We have a big collision. And Aaron Woods with the initial check. We have John Pierce on the floor. Gates Abrams is fired up going after him. Shoot. That one stopped, though.
Boom.
Hit from behind. Really big.
Hit from behind. Coming from the penalty box, I believe.
Yeah. And you'd think he might be going back into the penalty
And
box.
they threw him out.
Yeah, he's gone. So we got 5 seconds to the 2-minute mark. Actually stopped at 1:59. So it's going to cost them a second. So with Woods getting that penalty, which is probably a major, they will have to send an in-home in to serve the penalty, so it cuts them down one further player short on their bench. Only 2 minutes to go. Yeah, it is a 3-minute major. So Basom can really just eat up 2 minutes here and walk away with the win and go on to the semifinals. But you know they're going to keep going. Here's Brandon Bombery. They go far side into the corner with Floyd Abrams. It's a bit low to get an effective shot, so they get it to Rice at the top. Sidesteps, rips, nice save, Cathers. Comes out to Brendan Bomber, the worst case scenario for CTC. Great ball movement. But boy, Abrams saw the pass wasn't there to the backside to Gates Abrams, just let it go himself. That's hot off the backboards. It's going to be an over and back, no touch by CTC. They will get possession. And here's the situation we talked about. You talked about in the previous game where you're shorthanded with 1:20 to go and down by 2. You have to try and score. And Basom complicates it a bit by leaving Gates Abrams up the floor, necessitating a player to stay with him. Honestly, at this point, down by 2 with about a minute to go, you could send that player up and just play 4-on-4 and leave him there. And it's like playing against an empty net or with an empty net. You're just taking a risk. They go for the backdoor quick stick. That is unable to get through. It was tipped away. Here's Whale Abrams. He is stripped. Fighting forward, heading up the floor. Trevor Jones, number 28 for CTC. Just keeps kind of running into trouble, running out of trouble. Gets a shot off. It goes off the foot of Goa Abrams, who I'm not sure he even moved. It seemed like he was a little surprised by the way that ball came out of there. Here's Kent Printup. And they can kill just about all of it. It's about a 2-second difference. They're going to take a shot instead. I feel like I probably would have held on to that ball.
He gets it.
Oh, what a catch. On the run, tries the steep bouncer, but just a little wide for Gavin McClatchlin. What's that, Greg?
I was just excited for the grab. I was very surprised he grabbed it.
Brian Rice with what will be the last shot of this lacrosse game. It's going to be a 4-2 win for the Basom Bombers over the CTC Elite. Quite a game, low scoring, good defense, good goaltending at either end of the floor. and we will have a little bit of time before our next game. But Basom Bombers advance to the semifinals tomorrow. CTC Elite goes to the 5 through 8 position games, and we have 8 minutes to our next game. We're gonna have to get ready to go. Let's head out. I'm Steven Stamp with Greg Beecher.